Atlanta's best mix of R&B, Magic 107.5, 97.5. Siman, baby, on the ride. Some of you may have either been in church over in New Birth or seen on the web Jason Lary making an appeal to the congregation and to citizens of an area of southern DeKalb County. Right now, it is an unincorporated area, okay? And I didn't realize that. It was as large as it is. Mm-hmm. Jason Lary is in the building with us now. Welcome, Jason. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Siman. How you doing?
Glad to have you in the house, brother. Glad to have you in the house.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now, you are with the Stonecrest Alliance, correct?
That's correct.
First of all, tell me about that area. I want to know what areas you're talking about. And when I first saw this, I thought Stonecrest was actually a part of Lithonia, but it's not?
Well, Stonecrest is actually outside of the city of Lithonia limits.
Okay.
The city of Lithonia is only 1 square mile.
Gotcha.
The Stonecrest corridor is 61 square miles, and that's Evans Mill Road, Panola Road, and Turner Hill Road exit back toward Browns Mill, up toward Norris Lake. It's a huge area that's completely unincorporated.
And I saw in something printed that said that area, the area that you're talking about, has like 77,000 potential residents.
Exactly, and would be the 10th largest city in Georgia if the measure passed by the voters.
Because I understand that you guys have launched a feasibility study.
That's correct. So it's 3 phases to be able to be considered for cityhood. Mm-hmm. One is you have to have the galvanization of the citizens in that area to want such.
Okay.
Then you have to have a feasibility study commissioned either by the Carl Vinson Institute at the University of Georgia,
okay,
or at the Andrew Young School of Public Policy at Georgia State. We chose University of Georgia.
Okay.
So we raised the $30,000. We signed a contract with them, and we expect that study to come back.
How long does something like that take?
About 4 months. So December, we'll have that study back. From that point, you move into phase 2, which is one of the most important phases, is that your legislators have to give you permission to be able to put that on the House floor so that the citizens in June, which is phase 3, can actually vote on it.
So first you do the feasibility, then you get permission to put it on the ballot, then you put it on the ballot.
Exactly.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, but when I come back, I want to know what kinds of things they're going to look for in this feasibility study. I mean, what would make an area qualify for cityhood? Jason Lary is in the building from am I saying this right, Stonecrest Alliance?
Stonecrest City Alliance.
City Alliance, okay.
Right.
Stonecrest City Alliance. And we're talking about the area around Stonecrest Mall and in that general area that could become a city. There's a feasibility study that was just launched. What kinds of things do they look for in the feasibility of a city?
Well, primarily what they look for is, do you have enough revenue base? Mm-hmm. Do you have enough size and mass to actually be able to be a city?
To sustain
yourself, exactly. And, Simon, just the mere size of what we're looking at, we feel very confident that the areas that we have, which is commercial, residential, industrial, and green space, we have a fantastic mix of revenue base to be able to become self-sustained and grow. And that's what this piece is about.
Why do you feel the need to create a city out of that area?
That is the magic question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And simply because we feel as though we can do a better job of being self-governed and self-managed on our own. We need economic development in that southeast corridor. And to have economic growth and economic development in that southeast corridor, you have to have a brand. And Stonecrest lends for a very good brand with regards to drawing people, drawing industry, drawing companies, because of the 4 things that we mentioned earlier. And quite frankly, is live, work, play, and worship in that particular corridor.
What does that do for the tax base, though? Okay, so as a taxpayer, I'm living in that area, and you're talking about bringing cityhood, so you're talking about bringing infrastructure, so isn't that going to increase the taxes?
Interesting you mentioned that. Actually, it's a neutral tax moving over from what services the county covered, based now on what the services the city covers. So you're not actually doubling your tax or adding your tax. You're transferring that tax revenue that was accounted for by the county, which is DeKalb County, over to the proposed city of Stonecrest, and you manage it in that way.
So the things you would pay for, like our public service, public safety, police, fire, what else?
Planning and zoning, parks and rec. So the 3 core pieces of that.
Okay.
And I want to make this very clear to folks also that's listening, DeKalb County is a viable partner in this situation. We're not succeeding from the union. This is not 1860.
Right.
But what we are doing is taking those particular revenues that cover police, planning and zoning, parks and rec, and economic development over to a given area, which is Stonecrest, and manage that for ourselves. The county has plenty to do. They have, quite frankly, they have fire, the jail system, the court system, workforce development. They have 13 or 14 other services that they provide that they would be, of course, receiving a check from still from the citizens and businesses in that area. But those other core services that requires a city to grow and to be vibrant, we're going to take that on ourselves.
Is there a major outcry for this? And is there a problem? Because I know some people are like, okay, well, we're getting all this now from the county, but you want to specify this community. I know we've had a lot of other cities pop up throughout Georgia, and there are a couple in DeKalb County. And one of the things is, I think the CEO, Lee May, asked that all new cities in DeKalb hold up for a couple of years. What's your response to that?
I think that the county sees the writing on the wall and they just don't want to say it. And quite frankly, they're all good friends of ours, and I really feel for the employees that are there with regards to DeKalb County, because I've contracted with them. I've worked there on different projects and everything else. However, Siman, what happens is this: you cannot stop progress. And there's no use in waiting another 2 years to being able to see the same thing that is happening today. And that is the lack of development and the lack of sustainability in that given corridor. So if we don't take an opportunity at this point in time and help it grow, help it thrive, so that our home values can rise again, we can't wait another 2 years. No one's going to wait another 2 years, not the North or the South.
Okay. Majic 107.5, 97.5. Welcome to the ride.
Hello, I have a question. I'm listening to the radio right now, but I just tuned in, so I'm not for sure what's going on with the Stonecrest area, and I live in that area, so I was trying to figure out what's going on and what new development, however.
Well, what we're doing in that Stonecrest corridor is, quite frankly, developing our own city and being able to create a town that we can manage with regards to council and mayor to grow economic development in that corridor so our home values can rise again.
Okay, great, because I live like 10 minutes from there, and I bought a townhouse about 4 years ago, and it was $80,000 then. Now it's worth like $30,000.
Right. So you sound like you'll be a good candidate for being for this.
Right. So that's great, because I feel like that this area that people have totally neglected and just left out, so I'm glad to hear this.
What area do you live in? I know you said
I actually live in Latonia.
Okay. This would help that area greatly. No question.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's say you get what you want. Okay. What can people expect to happen?
I see a bustling economy focusing on those areas that we talked about earlier. A separate economy of scale for industrial, for commercial, bringing residential back strong, and then enjoying our green space to be able to do the things we want to do in that area. That's how people live, work, play, and worship in a particular community. But it all starts with economic development. If you have the economy driving itself with regards to jobs and moving companies and businesses out there because you have a good, sellable brand, then people will want to live, work, and play. And as I see it in the future, I think that we will be one of the staples of Southeast DeKalb County with regards to DeKalb County.
77,000, potential residents in that area. And it has an industrial area as well.
That's correct. So we have that Latonia Industrial Corridor
right.
That's looking for business. We have commercial in that Panola, Evans Mill, and also Turner Hill areas. We have residences there. It's unbelievable in that area. And, of course, the National Heritage Park with regards to Arabian Davidson National Park.
Would schools be affected?
Well, we have schools in a certain footprint, but what people don't realize is that almost 70% of their tax dollar is school system.
Right.
So less than 30% is really on DeKalb County with regards to their tax dollars to be able to manage. Now, without doing a long service of the math, we're only talking about 4.5% of your entire tax bill going toward a city. Manage that 4.5% properly, and you'll see yourself grow in that arena.
So 4.5% would transfer from what a person would currently pay to from going to DeKalb County to going to the city.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to have to reach out to the CEO, to CEO Lee May, and let him come on and respond as well. And I should have brought you in here together. That's what I should have done.
That would have been great.
Let you sit down and just get right to the meat of the thing. But we'll do that later. Welcome to the ride.
Yes, I have some questions about the Stonecrest development.
Yes, go right ahead.
I had a question for Jason Lary. I heard that he lives in Gwinnett. Is that true?
No, I live in the heart of Stonecrest, right off of Evans Mill Road.
Okay. And I wanted to know, is the Oakleaf and Stonecrest subdivision part of this plan?
Oak Cliff or Oakleaf?
Oakleaf at Stonecrest.
Is that near the mall?
Yes, it's right near Wayfield, right near the city offices and everything.
Okay, that's in downtown Lithonia, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's Lithonia proper.
Right. It is not. That's already inside the city limits of Lithonia.
Okay. Just wondering, why did you all just decide to try to do a different city and not just put this effort towards making Lithonia better?
Well, we tried that at first, but the city of Lithonia is already in a certain position with itself, with council and mayor that have a certain brand that they want to work on, which is historic. We're not going after historic brand. We're going after an economic development brand.
Okay. Very interesting.
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. But first, how can people get more information on what everything that you've talked about here today, Jason?
You can visit us at www.stonecrestcityalliance.org. So that's www.stonecrestcityalliance.org.
Magic 107.5, 97.5. Welcome to the ride.
Hi, man. This is Mike. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
All right. I'm a resident of Lithonia. I'm listening to Mr. Lary here. I don't think cityhood is the answer. Because if you can't bring economic development to the city of Lithonia, how you going to do it being Stonecrest?
I'll be very specific with you, sir. How you do that at Stonecrest is you have an available talent with regards to actually go out and selling that concept to businesses and commercial property people that want to move there. The city of Lithonia does not have that on their agenda. That's the first thing. Second thing is that whether we like it or not, we have a brand problem with Lithonia that they have earned over a long period of time. People don't want to bring their business to Lithonia based on their conduct and how they control business there. So to specifically answer your question, you need a new brand, new mayor, new city council to go out and get new business.
Okay, but creating more government, to me, is not the answer. That's the problem with DeKalb County now. It's too much government, it's too much hierarchy. I know because I work for DeKalb County.
All right, good for you. So this is what we're doing. We're going to create our own mayor and council, and then the DeKalb County themselves will have to reduce their government. They have to do things different in their house to be able to adjust. So it's not an issue of creating more government. It's an issue of creating more effective government.
Well, that's why you vote county commissioners in, because if you aren't satisfied with what's going on in your area, you need to go to your commissioner. That's what they always tell us. Go to your commissioner. And if the commissioner's not doing what he's supposed to do in your area, then elect another one.
Well, here's the thing about that.
Government is not the answer. We already I told Ellis when he first got in office, when he had a town hall meeting, DeKalb County is top heavy, but yet he's hired more and more hierarchy and less employees.
Now, that's where I agree with you on. But where we disagree is that the issue of effective governance. And effective governance has to have local control. You can't have a commissioner cover, on average, 140,000 people. And that's what they do in DeKalb County. On average, they cover 140,000 people. With a mayor and city council, on average, they cover 10,000 people. So you have a smaller area of control and a smaller brand to be able to go out and tell the folks to come live in your town. So we do agree on some things. We just disagree on how to go about it.
Right.
I appreciate your call, my man.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Jason Lary's been in the building. I want to thank you for taking time to come through and talk to me, Jason.
I really appreciate it, Simon. Really appreciate it. We have a bright future. We have the opportunity to control our own government and build a new town, build a new brand. And you can find us at www.stonecrestcityalliance.org because we need your volunteer efforts to be able to continue these efforts for growth.
StonecrestCityAlliance.org.
Yes, sir.